How many times have you had an experience where you're speaking to somebody about a service situation and they're unaware of a previous interaction or complaint or something that you've had, and suddenly the person on the other end of that the call is feeling somewhat lost because they know that they should be aware but they're not. Too often times it's because that data is siloed into a different system. It's not able to be accessed, etc.
We are in this new age of AI, and we fundamentally believe that service teams should be enabled to work smarter, not harder. How does a solid data strategy help you to achieve that?
I think data is, it underpins so much today, and even more so now with AI. I think that how many times have you had an experience where you're speaking to somebody about a service situation and they're unaware of a previous interaction or complaint or something that you've had, and suddenly the person on the other end of that the call is feeling somewhat lost because they know that they should be aware but they're not. Too often times it's because that data is siloed into a different system. It's not able to be accessed, etc. Or it's available within the organisation, but it's not being surfaced in a way that the agent can consume or reference at the time where it's required. So I think a data strategy, increasingly making sure the data can be accessed when and how it needs to be, making sure that there's clear context around that data to understand where and how best to use it. I know certainly AI requires that in order to maximise the value from it. And then making it available to the right people at the right time. So I think data strategy, application strategy becomes really important, the interoperability of those things.
And talking about data, we all know how important data is. And whether you're talking about efficiency or empathy, if the trust is broken, that's absolutely fundamental. And we've seen in recent weeks and months talks of cybersecurity, of breaches. How do you, as a tech leader, make sure that you're protecting your data?
I think protecting your data is one of the very highest priorities for any tech leader and any business leader, really. As you say, we'll see too often in the news about issues, if you like, that result from where that's not been able to be the case. I think a lot of the fundamentals are really key. You need to know where your data is. You need to have the right access control around that data, and then the right permissions for usage, etc., around that data. I think that's becoming even more heightened now. With all the capabilities that we see in artificial intelligence, there's no doubt that threat actors or bad actors will also look to utilize those tools and capabilities to appear even more convincing, etc. And I think therefore that there's always an increased, a heightened need to be diligent, be vigilant around that, and that starts with people. We spend a good deal of time making sure our employees understand their actions, question things, report things, etc., because oftentimes that unfortunately is the route into data for threat actors. So yeah, I think remaining very vigilant and being aware of how convincing some things can be going forward